is Miguel Campos, and I'm here today to show you how easy it is to set up our new MS Teams notifier and manage your access to AWS. So P0 Security, we provide universal identity and access governance for the cloud. We make it really easy to automate and streamline your IAM access across all of your different cloud environments. But our focus today is going to be specifically between MS Teams and AWS. Let's start off by just setting up the bot first. We could do so by clicking here open and sending a help message. You'll get a useful prompt letting you know what are the different commands we support. Currently, we only support our requests. We can go ahead and try to make a request, but because we haven't completed our setup, it's going to tell us to go to the P0 web app and complete that installation. I've already logged into the web app on a different tab here, so we're just going to go ahead and jump over to that. And you can see here that we've got our MS Teams notifier. You will need a privileged role administrator or global administrator in order to grant consent to the application. Here's a list of all of the different permissions that we're going to request. You can pause the video and take a look at them, or when you install it yourself, you can review them in depth. After you've given consent to the application, you will be asked to install the application on a specific team in a specific channel. We recommend using a public channel that all of your approvers have access to. This just makes it much easier for you to communicate about the different approval requests. For this demo, I'm going to pick my own personal channel. I'm a member of a bunch of different teams and a bunch of different channels. Once this has been configured, we can actually go back to the chat and we can attempt to make another request. But first, let's take a look at our routing rules. The routing rules explain what are the resources that users can request access to and who is allowed to approve those. This is a pretty condensed view, but essentially this is going to give me access to request any resource that I have configured, and I'm going to also be allowed to approve of that. In practice, you will probably have much more stringent controls on who has access to what. So I'm going to go back here, and you can see on the right-hand side that I've got all these access denied errors. That's because my currently logged in user actually doesn't have access to anything. In order to give myself access, I'm going to use P0 and I'm going to request the admin policy. This policy should allow me to take a look at IAM and take a look at the different S3 buckets. When you type request AWS policy, you're going to get shown this form. This form, you should fill it out with a reason, an account. So we support multiple different accounts, for example. Here we're going to pick the policy admin. And the admin policy is going to show us a drop down. We can select multiple policies, but for this use case, we're only going to need one. When you're ready, you can just go ahead and click submit after you've reviewed this form. Mine's pretty straightforward, so I'm just going to go ahead and submit now. The different approvers in your organization, they're going to get a notification to the channel you had configured earlier. In this example, it's my P0 security, P0 Miguel channel. You can see here what that request card might look like. As an approver, you can give people access for whatever duration you think is necessary. As a requester, you can request access for any duration, but that doesn't mean that's what you're going to get approved for. In this example, I'm only going to give myself an hour. I don't really need access for that long, so I'm going to go ahead and hit approve. Once that approval is complete, you'll get a nice little summary here for how long that's going to request. And if we actually go over to P0 in our activity tab under the JIT page, we can also see a list of all the different things that we've been granted access to on this account. If you're an administrator, you can actually revoke anybody's access at any time if you'd like to. If you're a user, you can also revoke your own. So let's go back here. Now we can take a look at what my AWS looks like. You can actually see all of those errors went away because now I have administrative access. Here's another example for the S3 buckets. If I refresh the page, now you can see that I can actually see the list of my buckets, right? So if we actually dive into the user, you can see that we've attached the policy administrator access here so that the user can get access to all the different resources in this account. So here I'm going to show you how to relinquish your access once you're completely done with it. So I'm going to click relinquish, give it a few seconds to communicate with their application. But once that's done, if you go back to AWS and you refresh the page, you'll no longer have access to those resources. So you could see all these access denied errors come back. But yeah, that's how easy it is to actually get set up with P0. That concludes the demo. Thank you, everyone.